Welcome back, Nail Queens. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a Christmas holiday themed mani using some colors from Soul Dips. The featured glitter is this color called Merry Christmas. It's a gorgeous like opalescent iridescent glitter base with snowflakes. I'm also going to be using this red glitter called Santa's Sleigh, and that's the first one I'm going to dip into. Instead of dipping into the solid colors first like I usually do, I'm going to start with the glitters because I get a lot of questions about how I apply my glitters. So the first thing I did is apply base bond and then pour over the glitter on top of the base bond. I just feel like it gets the smaller piece of glitters most. And then on my second layer, that's when I'm going to dip my nail into the jar. The reason I did this is because I want the smaller pieces underneath and the bigger pieces kind of on top. And you could have poured them over again the second time, but I just chose to dip right into the jar. And look how flat those turned out. I'm just cleaning up with my little tool here because I don't want, during my filing and buffing, for this to be stubborn and stuck to the sides and me have to worry about filing that off. So I just take my tool and I run it around the edge of my tip here. By the way, I do apply these like press-on nails, so I like to design my full coverage tips in my favorite shape, which is the almond shape. So these are the short almond from Soul Dips. She sells them on her website, and you can apply them like gel extensions, or you can use them as press-ons. I've done both, and they work great. They fit wonderfully. They have a very natural arch. So here I'm applying Merry Christmas, and you can see that I poured over the first layer, and here on the second layer I'm manually placing the snowflakes. So this was very, very intentional because I wanted the first layer to be all of the smaller like opal-y glitters and the second layer to just be the snowflakes. Now for here, I'm going to do things a little bit differently because I have these big chunks. So I'm taking my base bond and dabbing it all over the snowflakes, and then I'm going to take my activator liquid and I'm going to dab it all over the snowflakes as well and give it about 10 or 15 seconds for that to set. And then I'm going to take this tool and start like pressing and forcing the sides down, adding a little bit more activator, and then now I'm going to take my glove and really just press and hold. And that's what's going to make these glitters lay down perfectly flat. If you want a more detailed video on this method, I'm going to link one here in the cards from Miranda's Nail Creations. She did a great holiday glitter demo, and I'm basically just doing that routine. So she goes into it really in depth, and I really love her tutorial on it. Now I'm going back to Santa's Sleigh, and I'm just dusting off everything around the sides, and then I'm going to encapsulate these chunky glitters in clear dip powder. So I have learned from experience that encapsulating in clear dip powder is so important, especially when you're using chunky glitters like this. It just makes them look like they're really floating in water, like very glassy. And then also when you file and shape and buff, it won't file through the color of the glitter. Because you may have experienced this, I have, where I have filed through a glitter and the glitter tarnishes and turns silver. So that can happen if you don't encapsulate. Now I'm going to move on to the solid, which is this gorgeous, gorgeous green called Trim the Tree. It's a beautiful dark green. I can see myself wearing this for St. Patrick's Day and other seasons as well, so I think it's a must-have, a staple color in someone's dip powder collection. I highly recommend it, and it's so easy to apply. So this is what it looks like on the first dip. It's really, really easy to use, and it's very, very smooth. It's very leveling. I really liked using this solid dip powder. And then I'm going to dust everything off and apply the second layer. So you can see the first layer wasn't completely opaque. So I'm going in for a second layer. And on that second layer, it was pretty darn opaque. So I was like, okay, I don't have to dip a third time. So I did all of my solids and all of my glitters with just 2 dips of color and encapsulated those in clear dip powder. Now it's time to file, shape, and buff. So I already activated the glitter nails. I didn't show that, but yeah, I did activate these so that I had the strength to be able to file, shape, and buff. If you don't activate them and you start filing, you do risk buffing off all your glitter and all your hard work. So this glitter nail probably took the longest. So I'm just taking this 100/180 grit file and buffing block and just smoothing out the edges, the sidewalls, everything, making it nice, flat, and smooth. Since I encapsulated in clear dip powder, it did not tarnish my glitter. Look how awesome that looks. So I just wiped it with rubbing alcohol real quick. Now to activate and file, shape, and buff the solid nails. So I'm applying activator to them. I'm going to let them set for about 2 minutes and then go straight into my filing, shaping, and buffing. Of course, I'm not going to make you sit here for 2 minutes while I wait for that to harden and set. So I just magically fast forwarded to the filing, shaping, and buffing. When I file, shape, and buff, I do like to work on the sidewalls first, then the cuticle area and the free edge, and I also like to take a rigid hand file and shape on the underside of the tip, just in case any dip kind of like seeped over the sidewalls and it can look kind of wonky, like jagged edges and everything. But the solids are so easy to file, shape, and buff. I feel like I can do like 5 solids for the same amount of time it takes me to do 1 chunky glitter. Now I'm taking a gel primer to the nails and I'm just like rubbing it on there because I'm about to use a gel top coat on the nails. I go back and forth on whether I want to use a dip powder top coat or a gel top coat. It really is whatever I'm feeling that day, and most of the time I just like the gel top coat because I don't have to wait for something to dry. I just shove them in the nail lamp, give it a second, like a whole minute, and call it a day. But I really love how this manicure turned out. It's a very simple Christmas manicure. I love that the snowflakes are not your traditional like white, pink, blue. They're red and green and they're so freaking cute. So I really loved this chunky glitter, and you guys got to see how easy it truly was to use. Within just 2 dips, I got it nice and smooth. Alright, so I'm going to continue adding the gel top coat to these nails, and I'm going to show you the end result. This is the final look with the press-ons applied to my nails. I love this manicure. I am glad I did it in press-ons because that means I can continue to reuse this set whenever I want to. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!